Hey, what's going on, Guardians? TBL here, back with a very quick Destiny information video for you today. We have had a ton of news about Destiny over the past couple of days, thanks primarily, of course, to the Game Informer articles, the big scoops about the Rise of Iron, and some of the brand new things we're going to be getting in that Destiny expansion. And today we're going to be focusing on something I am very excited about, and I know a lot of you out there are too. The revamping of the OG Destiny auto rifle, the Khvostov 7G-0X, a brand new exotic weapon for us to play with. Now, we got to see bits and pieces of this weapon in some of the Rise of Iron trailers, but Game Informer really blew things out. We now know the exact perks the weapon's going to have, the archetype of weapon it's going to be, and the really interesting thing about it is it's not just going to be one archetype of weapon, and I'll explain a little bit of what that means in just a bit. But first up, a history lesson. Do you guys remember the Khvostov, that original white auto rifle that you pick up in the very first mission of the game? Eyes up, Guardian. Its full name was the Khvostov 7G-0X, and it served as basically your introductory gun for that mission before a lot of Guardians really kind of tossed it away. I still got 3 copies of it from all 3 of my characters in my personal vault. But again, it was the very first weapon you get to use in Destiny, and for a very long time, players all over have said they would love it if that gun had a bit of a questline, maybe to level it up, make it a bit stronger, sort of like we do with the Husk of the Pit, transforming that into the Eidolon ally and then eventually the Necrochasm. And according to the Game Informer information, it looks like Bungie is finally bringing that to the forefront, as we will be getting an exotic variant of the Khvostov from a questline of some sort in Rise of Iron, and I can't even begin to tell you guys how excited I am about that. Alright, now that you've got the introductions out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the weapon itself. The upgraded version of this gun is called the Khvostov 7G-0X. Let's take a look at its perk tree. So as we can see here, we've got an image of the all-new Khvostov 7G-0X and a workup of what its detail tree might look like. Now, of course, it does say up in the corner that this is basically a test build, so this might change at any point in time, but this gives us a good idea of what the revamped gun will look like and how it will work. Let's take a look at the perks. Now, this is a very unique weapon, and in the first tree for its sights, you have the option of the modernized scope, which is kind of a basic red dot sight, and the classic scope. Now, the classic scope is literally the original scope from the original Khvostov 7G-0X, the cracked scope. So if you want to really feel that year 1 nostalgia, you can have that OG cracked red dot sight. Now, the classic scope with the crack will be low zoom. The modernized scope is also a red dot sight, but it'll have a little bit more of a zoom to it. In the next tree, things get interesting. You can actually change the fire rate of this weapon. You can switch it between automatic, which leaves it in sort of a Suros regime archetype of impact and rate of fire. We don't have the exact numbers on that yet. Or you can swap it to a burst fire weapon, basically turning the gun into a pulse rifle. That's right, you can take this auto rifle and turn it into a burst fire pulse rifle. Not only that, you can also change it into a semi-automatic and turn the gun into a scout rifle, meaning this gun has the ability to be all 3 main rifle primary archetypes. It can be an auto rifle, it can be a pulse rifle, and it can be a scout rifle. And according to the perk tree, you can change these on the fly by simply going into the weapon's details, very similar to how you can change the Suros regime's fire rate by switching between spinning up and focus fire. Now in the next tree, based on the mode you have the gun in, again either auto rifle, pulse rifle, or scout rifle we're assuming, you can have one of 3 perks: hammer forged, rifled barrel, or braced frame. So a lot of extra range perks on there, plus braced frame for a massive boost to the gun's stability. In the next perk tree, we have extended mag, counterbalance, and rangefinder. Very interesting. And finally, we have the special ability for this gun to change its rate of fire. You can change it between 450 rounds per minute to 900 rounds per minute, basically changing it from a low rate of fire, high impact archetype into a Doctrine of Passing or Arminius D styled low impact, fast rate of fire archetype of weapon. Additionally, the lower rate of fire variant will grant you bonus range, while the higher rate of fire variant will grant you bonus stability, which is fantastic. This is such a unique weapon, such a different gun from what we're used to in Destiny, and I think it's overall a great way to bring back a classic in exactly the way the community wanted. Now at the moment, that's pretty much all we know about the Khvostov 7G-0X. We know the perks and that you'll be getting it from a questline similar to the Yallarhorn and the Thorn for Year 3, because that's coming back too, baby, and I can't wait to see more. I told everybody it was going to come back. Everybody said, no, there's going to be no Thorn ever again. Well, I feel vindicated now. But I cannot wait to get my hands on more information about the Rise of Iron and the Khvostov itself. I want to see what the stats are going to be on this thing. But that's pretty much all I've got about the Eexotic Khvostov. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below whether or not you're excited for this new variant of an old classic. And we'll definitely have some more videos coming out discussing more of the Rise of Iron information brought to us by Game Informer. But alright, it's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians stay frosty, and we'll see you in the Rise of Iron.